Alright, what's up guys? Huskies back again. More HUT gameplay. Little another live commentary here. Oh, 4, I would have won 1-1. Last video, I was Division 7, nearing the end of it. Since then I've progressed through that division. I'm now Division 6. Lineup is largely the same. The only change I made is I purchased a Jack Eichel and replaced Galchenyuk. Games are starting to get a little harder. Teams are starting to get better. Players are starting to get better. So it's been a struggle, but we're still a pretty good record overall. I think we're 21-4-3, so it's pretty good. Last episode I talked about pretty much what HUT was, gave a little introduction to myself, and did a short little review of the game. This time I'm gonna go through and kind of give a more in-depth review of the game. As I mentioned in the last one, I really do enjoy this game, but there are still some glaring issues that I just fear that will never get fixed. But we'll get there in due time. I'll start with the game as an overall. In terms of game modes, stuff to do in the game, it's very, very well done. Between the Be a Pro, the HUT, the ESHL online, just OTP online, franchise mode, Be a Pro, there's tons of stuff to do. Now I'm pretty locked into what I enjoy in this game, and that is HUT, ESHL, and franchise mode. Like, I don't like online versus with normal teams. I'm not a fan of random OTP games. The shootouts are fun here and there. Those are largely the same from every year they've been in the game. Just there's a vast majority of stuff to do. It's very hard to get bored in this game unless you're playing one specific thing over and over and over and over again. But some of the new stuff that they added, I already went over HUT in the last video and talked about synergies and whatnot. So some of the newer stuff they added was mainly to other game modes. Offline got a decent bit of an overhaul. Franchise mode got a rework. It's no longer be a GM, it's not franchise, where you take over the team as a GM, but you have an owner. You have more specific goals than years prior. Like, you can have a win amount, you have certain revenue aspects you have to hit, like tickets sold, prices, facilities upgraded. So it's a neat little mini game. I'm not too thrilled about that. I don't really care about that. I played Be a GM back when you didn't have to do shit. You just coach the team and hope for the best. But now with the way that works is you can get fired, you have to find new places to work. I haven't ventured into getting fired yet. I really haven't played franchise mode all that much. I'm waiting for rosters to get fixed. The day one rosters for this game are complete trash. It's a joke. The minor league system is garbage. Players are missing, trades haven't been done. So usually right around when the actual hockey season starts, they get the rosters updated and fixed. So till then, this will be a largely online game for me. I'll play a lot of HUT, a lot of ESHL. I'll probably venture into franchise mode and do one to start, just to kind of get an understanding of how everything works. Like I said, I had this on EA Access for the 3 days before. It was 5 days actually, when they released it on Thursday, before the game actually came out. And I think I played the entire weekend playing franchise mode. The big thing that interests me in franchise mode is the whole create a team relocation aspect of it. You can take any team and either force your owner to allow you to relocate the franchise, or you can hope that he is willing to relocate. It's an option you can set when you start the franchise mode. I know some people aren't thrilled about the whole customization aspect of the game because other stuff gets missed, like gameplay stuff gets missed, rosters get missed, core things that you think would need to be fixed in order for before this customization stuff is even added or even talked about. And I agree to a certain extent. I think the customization is definitely just something else to get people to buy, trying to make the game more appealing. But to agree with them, for that point exactly, I'm okay with it. It gives you another aspect of franchise mode to play. You can, in addition to relocating teams, you can create your own custom teams in the main menu and then import them, and you can import up to 30 teams. So you can have your own NHL, your own teams, your own rosters, your own locations. I mean, so that's something different. That's something you haven't been able to do since probably back on like PS2, like way back before next gen, before even like 360 and PS3. Those games are usually bare bones for most of the time. So I'm a big fan of the customization because there's so much you can do. Just the arena customization. Oh, alright, 5-on-3. There you go. The arena customization is awesome. The jersey customization is awesome. It's a cool little thing to have for those that have played BGM in franchise mode for years on end. And you kind of get a little bored with NHL teams sometimes. Now, I know there's people out there that they don't. They love doing it with their favorite team every year. They're upset that their rosters aren't ready to start, so they can't jump right into it. And I get that. It's frustrating. But I've also become accustomed to just waiting until the season starts, because I have a tough time getting a franchise mode to keep going once the season starts, because I'll play it so much before the season starts that when hockey actually begins and it's on TV, and I kind of lose interest in the franchise. But waiting until the season actually starts, I've got more interest in it. It lasts longer. Oh, don't you go far side, you cheeseball. I knew that was coming, so I didn't stop it. In-game, like the mechanics of franchise mode, like menu systems, edit lines, rosters, trade players, there's stuff I'd like, there's stuff that I'm not a fan of. Like on the 360 version, you used to be able to search for certain players based on statistics and attributes and age, salary in the trade block, and get a full list of players that meet all of their requirements. That hasn't been in the game since this moved to Xbox One, and I highly doubt that it will be in future iterations of this game. But on the plus side of that, the menus are all smoother. There's neat little things in the home screen of the franchise mode, like their Stat Central thing when playoffs come around. It turns into a round-by-round breakdown. It shows you each individual game when you sim each day. Should've just cheesed them. In addition to that, the Stat Central thing also gives you a better understanding of the playoff race coming down at the end of the seasons. In previous games, you would have your little your standings thing on the home screen, but it really wouldn't tell you what was what, like where you were, what the little icon, like what the Z, the Y, and the W meant. Now it's there, front and center, shows you who's what, who's going for what. I mean, a lot of the stuff they added that's new is pretty much fluff. Like, I don't mind it. I know people are fans of it, being able to set ticket prices and hot dog prices and upgrading stadiums. Like, I'm a fan of the stadium part of it. I'm not so big on the whole ticket prices and revenue garbage, but I feel that it's a necessary addition to keep the game and the game mode fresh for those that have been with the game for years on end. Oh, give me that rebound. Oh, battle. All right. So overall, I think franchise mode it's headed in the right direction. I don't think it's where it needs to be yet. There's small little things that probably need to get fixed. But for the most part, I'm okay with it. I will be the biggest gripe with it is rosters, and that's not even really akin to franchise mode. That's just an issue in general that needs to be rectified before each season. Keep it in? Oh, no. See, I covered HUT last time. I covered franchise mode. I'm not too big on Be a Pro. Like, I understand why people like it. I've never really been a fan of it just because, well, there isn't much to do. And I'm an NBA 2K fan. And playing their career mode year after year, it really spoils you. Because you get to this and all you're doing is playing games. There, you've got all sorts of stuff you can do. Advertisements, endorsements, practices, interactions with other teammates, fans, opponents, coaches. NHL's Be a Pro is you just play the game and upgrade your attributes. There's no... They used to have on the 360 the little interview questions, but even those were pretty lame. I know the life of a hockey player is much less glamorous, I guess would be the word to use, than the basketball players, but still, you gotta add something because it's really... It's rough. And the grading system in past years for Be a Pro has been rough. You'd score 10 points in 10 games and be sent down a line, or you'd score 3 goals over the course of 3 games, or 3 goals a game for a week span, and you'd be sent down to the AHL. To my understanding, that's been fixed. The grading system is a little more lenient, and you won't get punished as easily. I haven't ventured into that too much. I've played a couple goalie games, and just the gameplay itself makes it feel better. But that's I'll get into that in a bit. Oh, the dangles. Where's my defense? Where's my defense? Fucking quality line change, boys. Oh, that was so cheesy and I missed it. Alright, so Be a Pro, HUT. ESHL's cool. They do largely the same thing they do with franchise mode in terms of customization. Because ESHL, there's not much you can do. I mean, you're playing 66. Because it's your own team, it makes sense to have a jersey customization or rink customization. A lot of the stuff for it has to be unlocked through progress via the game mode. Like, a certain amount of games played unlocks certain parts of the stadium for a team. A lot of those are, like, it's a cool aspect. I'm a fan of the customization, coming back to that, because I'm a big ESHL player. And have been for years. Oh, Barkov's in. He's got Advocate. Oh, I missed the pass. That's really the only change to ESHL. It's the exact same thing as last year, just with custom everything, essentially. Which is nice. It brings the game mode back to what it was on 360, which is where it was fun. The only gripe with that is there are a lot of unlocks that take a long time. Like, you can have custom player celebrations, which, again, is another gripe that people have that want core things to be fixed, and that stuff took precedent. And it makes sense, I agree. I would prefer gameplay to be overhauled before being able to do the dab or ride my stick. It's stuff like that. But even now that it's in the game, some of the unlocks for that are absurd. The team with Solani's, I think it was Solani? Oh, I'm going to be really upset if I get that wrong. Is where he shoots his glove. That celebration's in the game, but you have to score 900 goals in ESHL games, or drop-ins, in order to get it. 900 goals. I guess to put that in perspective, I've played 25 ESHL games, and I have 35 goals. We've only lost 4 games. I have 35 goals in 25. You have to play religiously to even get some of these celebrations, and I feel like that's a bit much. I understand you want to give the people that play mainly ESHL a reward for playing ESHL so much, but at the same time, like, there's no middle ground. You go from like 30, 40, 50 goals, which is reasonable, you can get that, to 100, 200, 400, 500, 900. It's like, there's no gradual increase. You're just flying off the handle with some of this stuff. Alright, I got a competitive game for the first time in these videos. So ESHL is fun. There's some tweaks that probably need to be made just in terms of unlocks, but the game itself is good. I guess I'll spend the third period talking about gameplay in general. I hated the gameplay in NHL 15 and 16 on Xbox One. It was awful. I mean, I'm mostly an online player, but even offline it was a joke. Goalies are trash. The AI is the stupidest thing in the world. I could play the game blindfolded and probably still win against the AI, just with how dumb and predictable they are. But this year, they've definitely taken a step upwards. Online still, very remedial stuff, very easy to play against because catering to the masses that people play online. But offline, you can make this game wonderful. I play franchise when I do a full I play all the games franchise. I get real into it and I play on true broadcast because I just enjoy the broadcast feel, acting like it's a TV, like trying to bring real life to it. Because I mean the commentary is really not that good, so there's nothing to really. Oh, get through. And to bring excitement to the game. They've done little things here and there to bring more excitement into this game, but the gameplay itself, yeah, word, come on, words, shoot it. In previous years, the slider sets that you can make for this game were really handcuffed because of just what you were allowed to change. There were very general settings. There was no specifics, like you couldn't change how effective a poke check was in addition to how often a stick hits another skate or how the puck behaves on the boards. All of these things have been updated. You can change every little aspect of this game to how you want it to play. You can set to how the ice messes with the puck's velocity, how if it bounces more, incidental contact frequency among players. You can set to what you want the puck to be able to hit and not hit. Like you can set it to hit sticks, legs, pucks, so everything, or you can have it set to hit nothing, so you'll never lose the puck on people. You'll just have to pass it off of them in order to lose it, which is, I mean, it's silly, but if you're playing with little kids or something that don't exactly know how to play, that's the best way to do it. But they really give you the tools to make a quality game offline now. It'd be nice if they added that to online, but for the time being, I'll take it for offline because it gives me something to play.
And he freezes for the whistle.
Jeez. Goalies, they introduced, I think it's 41 specific goalie stances. Based off of real life stances, and that's a cool little feature. I mean, they're purely aesthetics. There's not, oh come on, you let that in, Crawford. I'm gonna have to actually focus and score. But I'll let the replay play here. Going back to the goalie stances, they're purely aesthetic. They don't affect how a goalie plays. They don't, like, if you have a quick style, you don't have a better low game. Your glove isn't affected by Warrior's position. It's purely just looks, and it's nice. And I would like it to have some variance on attributes and skill, but step by step. I feel like next year will be a big change for this game because there's a new engine and all the other EA Sports games, physics engine, and I assume the next year it'll make the jump to NHL. They're always a year behind on stuff like that. But overall, I feel the gameplay is if you tweak it to your liking and how you want to play, the gameplay in this is fantastic. If you out of the box on there, they have different slider presets: simulation, full sim, competitive, which is the online for like versus, arcade, and something else. I don't remember the fourth one. Might be semi-pro. But out of the box, none of those really feel good. Usually I get my sliders from Operation Sports, gaming forum that is largely dedicated to sim-type games. Like they create sliders for other football games to try to replicate real life. It's always been a struggle with NHL just because you don't have the tools like the other games. But this year's the first time that the slider gurus are actually really enjoying the game and able to create a realistic feel. Oh, come on, find the rebound, Michael. Might actually lose this game. So overall, I mean, the amount of game modes it gives you, the amount of stuff you have to do, it's very nice to have. It's cool stuff to be able to do. I do think a bunch of glaring issues are overlooked. Basic gameplay for online is still garbage. The stick lift does not exist whatsoever from the beta that was a month ago. The stick lift is not in the game. It doesn't work. You can hook and slash people, but you cannot lift sticks. It has about a 5% success rate. It's terrible. Oh my goodness, find that rebound. Rosters are still bad for the start of the year. They get better. marginally. I usually spend the time to create my own rosters, do all the moves, set salaries, and whatnot before I do a GM mode or franchise mode. Let's call our timeout and see if we can get something going here. Trying to think what else I could review on it.
They win the draw. Let's see if
They have the
it
World
pays
Cup of
off.
Hockey mode in the game. Obviously, that was a big selling point for
Good save there.
EA's NHL, is that they had the World Cup of Hockey. They had all the jerseys, all the logos, everything's authentic. It's a cool little mode. You can replicate it. The only issue I have with the mode is you cannot change the groups. You have to go with what the groups are for this season's World Cup.
Over 3 minutes.
So that's a little frustrating. I don't understand why that's not a thing.
They just broke the time.
But that's not a mode I'll be playing because I really don't care. That's another just fluff thing. Oh, he's going to get by me. Don't let him shoot that.
Smart recovery by Sharp.
I feel like franchise mode took a step in the right direction overall. The little stuff they added is cool. I'm glad that it's there. I feel like it'll get more people to play, and if more people play and talk about the game itself, then maybe we'll get more changes done. I mean, I'm not hopeful. EA really doesn't listen to fans.
We are in the last minute.
There it is. Oh, Sharp.
You talk about cutting down the angle, perfectly executed by the goaltender.
48 to
Come on,
go.
boys. 40 seconds left. Let's not lose this game.
Out to the point with it now.
I can't lose on a YouTube video. That's just silly. I don't want to record this again. I wouldn't do that. If I win or lose, I still put the video up. There it is. Oh, come on. This kid just going to ride the puck. Oh, he actually got it out. 27 seconds. You know you want to cut to the inside. Hit the puck. Come on, get it. There we go. We're out. Go Kreider. Goalie murderer of the NHL. Toe drag. Oh, I had him. Come on. 10 seconds, last rush. See if I can get something here.
The Huskies control the play.
You can force overtime so I have more time to talk. Oh, Landeskog's out of gas. And I passed to nobody. Oh, that'll be GG, boys. That was a good game, though. I'm upset that his first goal was a cheese goal, but I really didn't have any offense. It was a bunch of just garbage shots, one-timers, point shots. You got overly distracted trying to talk, but hey, it's the point of a commentary video. I think that's the first loss I've had in the last 12 games. Yeah, even the first goal was ugly. But I think my final review of the game is it's headed in the right direction finally after 3 years on this console. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a game that I will keep playing throughout the year. I don't plan on really... I have Madden, but I don't plan on playing any other sports games really. Maybe FIFA, but FIFA's amazing, so... Oh boy, barely any coins. But yeah, like I said, 7.5 out of 10. 21-9. See, it's games like this that frustrate me. Because this is still a thing. You dominate the player in every aspect, except face-offs, and I lose because of because of 2 garbage goals. But hey, that is the way of NHL. Online has always been that way. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, where hopefully we get a win.